every region, cities to Christianize the folk. In this case, you could have a good, you could have a united religion. In this case, you could have, of course, people that obey to your rule. And in this case, Ludger was the first bishop of Münster, 805 in Köln. He was become a first bishop of Münster. And in year 1000, so 10th century, that the people starts to also settle here in Münster because the location was very practical, especially to do a business, especially because of the trading. Münster become a very rich people, and this gable houses, and especially you see this archway like where I am now. It was at stalls of people that were selling their products because of a rain. We are in a rainy region, and in this case it makes sense. And they were mostly, all of the buildings here were wooden houses. So after a long time, like coming to 14th century, then the building starts to, like the people starts to build the buildings because of a stone. We have sandstone quarries here. It's a very, it's a local stone, and during the Ice Age were created, and the sandstone is usually all of the buildings what you're seeing around are built, and this is how the sandstone is. Very sensitive stone, I should say, eroding quickly, but with this smooth color, it's definitely giving a really soft and smooth color to the buildings. And of course, after a certain time, it will become also black. Like, for example, here, Lamberti Church, that you're seeing is like looking dark, and this because of a pollution and whatever. So you have to clean it, but it takes a lot of effort to clean. And you see the rain is coming down. Traders, the businessmen, and of course they decided also to have their own church, since the cathedral belongs to the clerics, sorry, and they were then building their own church, and this is from 16th century. Our Lamberti church is a late Gothic style. Now I will try to just walk on the rain and just with my hand a little bit to protect my camera. Where I was under exactly the other side, and now I'm here in this side, which to show you how it was looking. This lovely houses. And on the left side, you see like these two houses. They're a little bit different than the others, if you realize that. And this is because those two buildings were surviving Second World War bombardment. So since 90% of the city were destroyed, those two buildings are in original form, like before 1945, and they could survive. And you see the original form of the gable houses, that historical development of it. Of course, on the right side, you see the modern one, lack of material, money. Of course, you could not exactly build as its original form, but they are close to it. And in this case, of course, town hall was original, not close to original, but as original rebuilt. Which church? Yeah. So Lamberti was kind of in this situation. It was lucky to survive the bombardment. Yeah. So. All right. So now I am here in this corner. I find a shelter here. It's a Catholic in Münster. Whatever built before the 19th century, it is definitely Catholic. The biggest let's say the development to accepting other religions is coming with Prussian government, and in this case. It is like from 1815 after Napoleon retreat, and when the Prussians were taking power, and of course they was kind of tolerating other religions, Protestant and in this case we have other churches as well. Lamberti Church, but there is a very not only specific but very interesting history that I have to talk about it. I will try to show you as well. Also quite nice postcard, I have to say, with some leaves. I'll just try to show you up there. You see there is a golden watch, and then up there are 3 cages, but it's really hard to see. I don't know if you see it, but I don't know. Let me check if I have a. Is anyone seeing the? Yes, perfect. Okay, that's enough. And those cages are original from 1535. But what happened in 1535, and this is the era that we call the Anabaptist era. This is also because of the Reformation, and there were, of course, a lot of other movements under Reformation. And one Reformation also starts in Zurich, in Switzerland, and Ulrich Zwingli was also part of this Reformation. But the followers of him were taking an extreme part, and they were like rejecting the whole the Catholic rules and everything. They were like rejecting everything, and then even the baptism was not approved from them, because they said, as a baby, as a not conscious person, you cannot be baptized in eye of the God. This is also not acceptable. And then they were like pushing people to be rebaptized again when they are conscious, especially like when they are 14, 15 years old or later. Knippe Dorling and Jan van Leyden, this is from the Netherlands. He came here and they said, we're declaring ourselves like a new king. And they were taking everything, the properties of the church from them, and taking Münster under the control and baptizing everyone. But this was just for a year, and after that, the bishop was retaking his city. And in those cages, the dead bodies, that to show people and to warn people that no one can challenge a Catholic Münster in this case. So it's a horrible history, but it's a reality of Münster. We have to talk about it. And this is a famous Salt Street, Salzstraße, in German. And in this case, this was a salt street because the salt was imported to Münster from this street, from this route. And the people were selling their salt on the corner over there. So the rain is really getting crazy. And now I will try to show you from another angle our Lamberti Church. So cages and then heaven stairs and so on. So Lamberti is a really place that a lot of occasions that happening. So let's end the situation. No, I couldn't. Still rain is going on, but I will try to show you, because with rain it's beautiful. And I'll try to show you the Principalmarkt, the whole Principalmarkt, so you can make some lovely post. So do you have any questions about this part, especially Lamberti Church and so on, Principalmarkt? So bikes are like, doesn't matter if it's rain or not. So in Münster, population, I was telling you, like 360,000. And the amount of bikes that we have in the city, it's 700,000. So approximately everyone has 2 bikes in this city.